LiveBroadcast. Today we have a really awesome subject for you. We're going to talk about TribeVest with Travis here. So just a little bit of intro. Travis started actually as a financial advisor, so whoa, right? And
yeah.
you're coming in here with us. Moved on to technology, learned a lot of things, started consulting, helping businesses and what so, and then really evolved into networking and entrepreneurship, and now through your own story and experience, you started TribeVest. So tell us a little bit about what it is and the story behind it, because I think it's fascinating and awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely glad to be here. And first of all, just really admire what you guys are doing here. You know, doing things the way you're doing. And you mentioned me being a financial advisor out of college.
Yeah.
I would have loved to come work for your company.
I would have loved to exist back then.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, you know, a little bit about our company is, you know, we're helping enable everyday people achieve extraordinary goals.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing that by unlocking this incredible, or we're doing that by helping individuals form small groups. And by doing that, they can achieve more.
Yeah.
And more is whatever, right? It could
Absolutely.
be real estate, it could be whatever their financial goals are. And you know, a little bit about the story, you mentioned it too, is my brothers and I, we had this shared aspiration for financial freedom,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even more important was this idea of self-reliance.
Yeah.
And we always saw real estate as that wealth hack.
Yeah.
Right? That way to hack wealth without having to give up our day jobs.
Yeah.
And we were 25 to 32 years old, and we were just starting our careers. And anyway, our dream had a problem, and that was that real estate requires
down payment, right?
capital.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's, you know, and you think about how the wealthy invest, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
the difference between the rest of us and the wealthy.
They make their money work for them.
And they
Instead of just working for money, right?
and
Yeah.
they have the
Yeah.
capital to
Start.
to start and to do it and everything. So we didn't. But anyway, we had a breakthrough on the last night of a trip that we were on that we honestly couldn't afford at the time, and ended up agreeing on a monthly contribution.
So let's pull. Yeah.
Of $500 each.
Yeah.
And it was a stretch. I mean, a huge stretch.
Yeah.
But
you think about it, it's like a car payment or something. So like you could sacrifice that and pay it forward instead of just paying the bank back.
Right.
You can get ahead, right?
Yeah, I'd say it was a stretch, but it was manageable. Like,
Yeah.
to your point,
Yeah.
it was like a car payment. And I think, you know, when people are trying to say, well, how much should I put in? And we think, you know, well, whatever you're kind of used to paying in a car payment might be
That's a good place to start,
a good
yeah.
way to do it.
Obviously, if you want to buy $5 million building, that's going to take you a long time without a lot of people. So I guess it would have to be consummate with what their goal is. But yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and then for us, I mean, to your point is, you know, this is a time-bound agreement that you're doing with your tribe, you know,
Mhm.
your group. And so if you sign up for 48 months with each other, you know, that first 2 years it might be that, you know, duplex that you get.
Mm-hmm.
And then by year 4, you know, maybe you are, you know, you're working your way up.
Mm-hmm. So what happens at the end of that time period? Does it just dissolve, or can you do re-up, or does it start going, you know? I mean, obviously you could probably do multiple different things, but what do you find normal? I mean,
It's important to have that time boundness. So
sure. To have some liquidity.
Well,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're not saying 500. You know, I'm in for $500 forever, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a heck of a commitment, right?
Yeah.
It's well, how long are we going to commit to this? And you know, in our process, helps you kind of think through that,
Yeah.
right? And we call it the tribe align.
Mm-hmm.
And the tribe align is really about how much, how long, then what, and then all the what ifs.
Yeah.
That, you know, my brother, and those are all kind of the hard lessons that
if they can't afford it anymore or something. like
Right,
that,
something
right?
comes up, and
Yeah.
you know, and so how do you handle that? And you don't want to handle that in the moment.
Yeah.
You want to go back and say, well, what did we agree to before this happened? Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to your question is, you know, they usually agree on average of 4 years, 48 months,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's the funding period, basically.
that's the funding. Say, hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to sign up for $420 a month for 48 months,
Mm-hmm.
and all the planning and all the kind of the investment that we might be making
Mm-hmm.
is based on knowing that that income is coming from all the group. So you're
Yeah.
making decisions based on those commitments.
Yeah.
So it's important you live up to those commitments. But to answer your question, at the end, almost all of them say our plan is to reassess and then go into another round, right?
Yeah.
And go into another round, and that's kind of what my brothers and I did. We just to this day, 12 years later, $500 a month, all reinvested, all our profits reinvested back into the business, and I mean, it's.
Well, now yours is more diversified. You have multiple things inside of there, right?
We do, right? Yeah, and that's what a decade of this will do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's turned into an incredible business that we couldn't have, ever imagined.
That's super. So, I guess it's like that old saying that they say a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step or something, like that.
Absolutely.
And you're making it easier for people, so it doesn't seem like 100, mile step.
Right.
It's like a regular step, but you've got other people, right? And if that's successful, then you can pay it forward, which kind of gets back to what we do with compounding of interest, right? So if you keep growing, it's not just your principal, then you have the growth of the last thing and the next thing and the next thing.
Yeah, and I think for most of us, it's just knowing what that next step is.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. And so, how did our challenge was we wanted to invest, and we had to get to, well, how do we get to a $50,000 down payment or a $30,000 down payment?
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge leap. Like, where do you start?
Yeah.
And I like to think like you guys. It's about, well, here's where you start.
Yeah.
And then there's the next step, and there's the next step. And if you stay on that path, it's just a math. It's a math problem, right? You'll get there.
So how does it work, like, practically? Can anybody join? What does it cost?
Right.
What's the time commitment on top of just the monetary?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a neutral third-party platform, and which means that it scales. It scales and meets you wherever you're at. So do we have wealthy people coming together to kind of do bigger things than they could on their own? Yeah, we do. Most of our customers looked a lot like my brothers and I, which were, middle class, have incomes and good careers.
But not a lot of stuff stacked up yet.
Right. Yeah. Not rich yet. Certainly.
Yeah.
So anyway, but you think about it. It's whatever. We talk about dream investments, and dream investments are what you wouldn't or you couldn't do on your own.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
to you, that's different than what I could do on my own, and
Sure.
and all the way down the line. So we have people that are saving for, to put into a family member's small business, right? To help them get off the ground or whatever else, and sometimes that's like a $10,000 investment, and then we have a great scenario, and so it's not all about investments. It's also, we have a guy that came to us who went on a family reunion over the summer, and it turns out they've had these homes in their family for generations that are deteriorating.
Yeah.
And because it's no one knew kind of who should take charge.
Yeah.
And now they're using the TribeVest platform to all these families kind of put a little bit in.
An investment in their quality of life and heritage more than it is making a bunch of extra money, which is important to them.
Right. Yeah. And for the next generation can have those family jewels. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So pretty much anybody could join. So whether they already have money and they just need the organization that you provide and the methodology of making sure that the participants are aligned, or if they've just got at least a little bit of extra cash flow and they want to join to save up to be able to do that, plus use all the resources that you guys provide.
Right. Yeah. And on the just getting started, into things, you just kind of have to do the math. It's like, well, if I'm saving $25 with four people, that's not going to add up real quick, right? It's not a really good application.
Sure.
But you start to get into $100 with 6 people, and then it depends what those goals are.
So
it would make sense.
Yeah, it makes me think of a question. So obviously a lot of people are friends and maybe even share ideas and ideals with people kind of with different means or maybe even different socioeconomic. Does everybody have to be an equal partner, or could somebody be a smaller and another one be a larger partner that can put in $1,500 a month, and this person can only put $150, but they share the same passion. They just don't have the means to be equal.
Yeah,
is that possible?
It is, and what and so we talk about the return on investment, of course, but there's this return on experience too, right? The idea of learning and growing together, which we think is the real goal of this. You know, you're never going to learn how to do this reading a book, right? You're only going to be able to do it by doing it. And so the idea of having a tribe to learn is again the real goal. And so to your point, we see this a lot in multi-generational things. So you know the parent, you know, can afford a little bit more to live for another 25 years, and you know everything else, but they have a same goal. So there's this opportunity to kind of share across that. And then in some social networks, it's like, hey, I'll finance this because I can. But I want to do it with everybody else too, and so just chip in what you can, and you'll be part of it. So absolutely, it doesn't have to all be equal, but equal, eliminates some of the complexity to it.
So just give us an idea. I think we mentioned a couple, but what are some of the most common goals or investments that people are saving up and using your platform for?
This has been the most exciting part, right? It's we could never imagine what people were saving for. You've already heard a couple. Real estate is, of course, a big one, about 60% of our business. And vacation homes is a super sweet spot for us. You can imagine it kind of has the return on investment side of things, and then it also has this experience and social part of it where families are coming together because they want a vacation together. Maybe they're already vacationing together, they're just renting it out. So why aren't we buying our own home and making it an investment, right? And so vacation homes are really a popular one. But vacations, trips of a lifetime. Just met with a group from Ohio State, 6 roommates. They're graduating this year, and they want to go on a trip of a lifetime, and they want to go to Africa, which is incredible to me. And I'm like, wow. And they're to make it happen, they're using TribeVest, putting away $100, $200 a month, so that after graduation they're going to go on this trip for 2 months. And so anyway, more to come on that. We're actually doing a kind of a video story on those guys.
That's awesome. I've gone through your website, and it's an awesome website to learn, and I like the new video that you guys have produced. But I think it will be awesome as you guys progress, because you'll almost be like eHarmony or what. You're going to have these stories of these successes of these people, and I think those will be almost as fascinating as the idea of what you're doing, So that's a great one. So
it is. It's about the story. We're enabling people to create their own story, right? Like, people love our story, and that's one thing that we learned was they're like, wow, how'd you guys do this, right? And we're enabling people to create their own journey and to tell their own story. At the end of the day, that's what it is.
It is one of the things, as us doing financial planning for people, it's one of the interesting things is people think that financial advisors, and a lot of times a lot of our industry does live up to this. It's just about maximizing money. But really, when you look at a lot of the studies and is investing in memories is probably one of the best ways to spend your money, as long as you have your needs met, right?
Right.
And you can't take it with you when you die. And that people have a lot of regrets of things that they wish they would have done, and almost none of them pertain to material wealth, right? Even though we need to take care of the things that we do, and the monetary side of what you're helping people, really is the accomplishment of things that are going to make people happy, right?
That, no doubt. And we were talking before we went on. It's like, there's a lot of emotion around money and being wise and smart and considerate. It makes the difference, and that, at the end of the day, it's the relationships that matter.
So let's say, okay, so we talked a little bit about this, but once they're invested, how do you guys help? Because I think one of the interesting things we didn't mention in here, but their cost to you, if you wanted to even experiments, it's $5 a month, right? That's amazing. You should just try it if you think you have an idea. If it doesn't work out, you could dissolve, right? It's probably in the process. But after things get going, how do you guys continue to help? And just we talked about, it even says on your, for transparency, how do you guys help them, and then how are you financed to where, obviously, Stephen Covey used to say, it's a win-win-win.
Right, we're in business to stay in business, no doubt about it, and grow and everything else. And to your point, it's yeah, we want this to be a no-brainer. Like if you have friends that you've ever sat around the table with, or gone to happy hour, or family around the dinner table, whatever it is, and kind of dreamed about doing something together, whatever it is, we say come check it out. In fact, you'll get a ton of value even before you spend the $5 a month. You come in and you actually do a tribe align. So each person takes an individual tribe align survey. It's a lot like eHarmony in that way. Maybe you're not getting to know each other for the first time, but you're getting to know each other for the first time as potential business partners or whatever it is. So, and we deliver this anonymous report to you that shows you how you all line up, and should you guys consider to move on. So that's free. So come in and check that out, and then you agree on the rules of the game. And then if it's an investment-oriented goal, you can form an LLC, and we take care of all the automatic finance, or automatic savings for you, right? So make it real easy to set up your external bank account and set up whatever you've agreed to with your group, and it's an FDIC insured bank account. It's your account and everything else. So, but then you're like, well, $5 a month. How are you guys going to do this? Well, the cool thing is once you've formed your tribe, your group, you don't look a lot like a business, but you are. You're a micro business is what we kind of call it. But as you continue to save together, and invest together, and one investment turns into two, you really, now all of a sudden you're looking like a real business. Yeah. And that's where we come in, as a convenience on our platform.
So you're betting on people being successful, basically.
No doubt. That's where our payout is do you need bookkeeping? Yeah. Great. Then you should use our bookkeeping service provider, right? And do you need a loan? Great. Then you should explore using our lending partners. Yeah. And do you need tax services? Well, you should explore using our tax service. You don't have to.
It's ready-made, and hopefully you're getting an economy of scale discount, so it's like good for everybody, right?
Bingo. Yeah. So that's the business model, which is unique. We think. We think we're helping people to achieve their financial goals, whatever they are. And usually there's a product to be sold at the end of that. Yeah. Right? And we're not selling a product at the end.
You're just connecting people.
Right.
Yeah. And then all of those providers are paying fees to advertise and market, whereas they can save that if they're just coming straight from you. Right?
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Cool. So you guys have had a lot of success lately. Startups to watch in 2008. You won the Tech Startup Award in Columbus this past May. Like, where do you see things going from here? It looks like you're just hitting the point of liftoff, right?
Right. Yeah. We're certainly at a real exciting point right now. In fact, we're going from our version 1 platform. So just to set everybody's expectation, we have our version 1, and in 2018 and going into 2019, we've been working on our version 2, which is a fully scalable platform that is going to help us scale. Really, so we can only take on so many before, and now we see the day where thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of groups are going to come on, and this is the foundation platform that we're launching in March. We have a VIP program, or early access program, where we're onboarding them right now, and they're kind of giving us that feedback, and then in March we're going to launch publicly. But to answer your question, that where do we see this? We think this, and it's not because of sustainability. Like, we're part of the sharing economy for sure, right? You think about it, and Uber and Airbnb, we think of as kind of our big brothers or big sisters out there, and we're learning a lot from what they're doing. And anyway, we just see the day that, not because of sustainability or sharing or things like that this will become a norm or a commonplace, but it's pure economics. Like, this is a legitimate way to achieve more and to reach your goals. So anyway, what's next is we have really big plans. Like, we're planning on changing the world, right? So.
That's awesome. I think I love the sharing economy, and one of the things that has kind of gotten my goat about our country is, like, we all believe in kind of meritocracy and being able to do things, and so much you watch these shows like Shark Tank, and you see these venture capitalists that just want to make money, And it's just like, I admire the angel investors and stuff that want to make a better world, you know, with a return on it, right? But a lot of the middle class people, they don't have opportunity or access to capital. And somebody has this awesome idea, it's almost there, and then somebody on Shark Tank's like, give me 60% of your business. And you're just like, really? Just so I can like get this off the ground? And things like this are going to make it possible for us to invest in each other. And if we would pool our money, we'd be able to do that, not to have to give up our whole life to a bank or have some rich person, you know, take most of your idea. I think it's awesome.
It gives us a vote, right? Like
absolutely.
now we have money to vote on or to, you know, bet on or help something local, right? Something local, something niche, something we believe in. And, you know, before we didn't. I love the way you said that. You're right on.
So, well, just real quick, kind of leaving people, I always like to leave people kind of like with the action. Like, if this like touches somebody's nerve or they want to get started, how do they get started?
So go to, in fact, by listening to this, we'd love to invite you to join our early access wait list. And that comes with, it comes with a lot of benefits, including free services, you know, for a year and other benefits. And you can go there by going to TribeVest.com, and it's just it's a special URL for people to get on a wait list. Don't worry, you're not signing up for anything. You'll be
notified when you get
you'll be notified that you'll have a year free on the platform.
Awesome. And we'll go ahead and post that below on all the social media as well too. And then Eileen's really good at putting these things as we're talking. I think she's probably linked to your website multiple times. So hopefully they see that. That's an awesome opportunity. So not only is it really affordable, but they're going to give you a free year as well too. That's great. Well, thanks so much for being here, Travis. I really appreciate it. I think you're doing great things, and we need more people like you and like coming up with awesome ideas to enable people to help themselves and make it rewarding, right? Yeah.
Thank you. It's mutual. I appreciate what you guys are doing. Really enjoyed it too.
It's our pleasure to help in things like this. So thank you guys as well for tuning in. Hopefully you're not freezing to death out there. Next week we're going to have Chris Volp on from Multivarious. They do all kinds of games and VR. I think it'll be super interesting. And then the week after that, Luke Griffin from Luke Griffin Insurance. Great company, really involved in the community, do a lot to give back. We're excited about that. So have a super weekend. You know, stay warm, and we'll see you next week. Good deal. Good job.
Right on, man. Awesome. Honestly, man, that was beautiful what you said. I mean, you're right. It kind of and I think of it as you get a vote now. You don't have to go to the venture capital sharks.
I'm interested because I saw